United exploring a potential deal for the West Ham midfielder Mateus Fernandes.
With one midfielder all but in Edison from Atlanta, Manchester United are continuing their efforts to reinforce their midfield in this summer's transfer window, and they are exploring a potential deal for West Ham's Mateus Fernandes. Now, as they are doing with multiple targets at this moment, United are doing background work on what a potential deal could look like, but they see Fernandes as a realistic deal they could do this summer, especially after West Ham's relegation to the Championship. But what we understand at Sky Sports News is West Ham value Fernandes for around £80 million, are in no rush to sell the player. Now, West Ham signed Fernandes for £38 million last summer from Southampton, and the decision makers at the club believe that he had one of the best seasons last year for a young player in the Premier League, and he has potential to become as good as someone like Declan Rice, who the club sold Rice to Arsenal for £105 million in 2023, and West Ham could even demand a fee something like that. Now look, I think Manchester United, very unlikely, I can say that with confidence, that will go anywhere near that kind of figure, so a compromise will have to be met if they are to do a deal for Fernandes. And I think from West Ham's perspective, while they're not ruling him out to stay in the Championship, of course they would love that. First time they're trying to get back to the Premier League. They're also aware reports that the likes of Arsenal, PSG, as well as Manchester United, all very interested in Fernandes. And at the moment, what we can also tell you is there have been no official offers made for the young Portuguese midfielder, and also no club-to-club talks between Manchester United and West Ham for Fernandes just yet. But what we are telling you is Manchester United exploring the conditions of what a deal could look like for the young Portuguese midfielder as they look to bolster their midfield this summer.
First, the England head coach Thomas Tuchel insists that his side are not among the favourites to win the World Cup. England are fourth in the world rankings. Tuchel says other teams have more experience of winning, but his side are daring to dream about ending the 60-year wait for World Cup glory.
No, we're not the top favourites. We can't be, because we haven't won it for so many years. So there are like proven winners in the tournament with more success in recent tournaments. So these are the favourites, and we compete for the trophy. We dream big, and we know what it takes. If you dream big, comes with responsibility. Responsibility is on the effort. So this is where the focus is, and we want to compete. We see ourselves as competitors, as challengers, and we want to go all the way. But I don't think that we're the heavy favorites. But you can win it, of course, and we want to win it. But we know what it takes, and it takes also a calm mindset and focus on our steps. Not get if we want to reach the top of the mountain, we need to start the journey step by step, and we need to go base camp by base camp. Otherwise, we will just get distracted. So I have belief. We all have belief. We all have a dream, but it comes with responsibility and hard work and commitment and discipline, and sometimes comes with disappointment and setbacks. This is all included, but we're trying to, we dare to dream, and it's important.
Well, England last won the World Cup, of course, in 1966, and Tuchel gave us his thoughts on why it's been so long since they've lifted the trophy.
Maybe not one reason, but I think recently in the recent tournaments, I think that the England national team is just there. Like if you reach semi-finals, if you reach quarter-finals, once you reach a quarter-final, you can win any competition. If you reach quarter-final in FA Cup, Carabao Cup, if you reach it in Champions League, that's my opinion and my conviction. Once you reach quarter-finals, you can go all the way. So I think it's important to understand, to not try to digest this whole tournament in one piece, and to focus on what we can influence. So at the moment this is prep camp, and then we will take care about group stage. This is how I only know it, and how I always approached it in club football when we went to Champions League campaigns. Make sure that you win your group, make sure that you go through your group, and don't get distracted in overthinking. Once you arrive with the team in a quarter-final, then you can go all the way, and then the belief will be there. But there has to be a lot of work done There has to be a lot of respect for our opponents, for the environment, and don't underestimate the level of luck that you need with injuries, with decisions.
Well, England will be boosted by some late arrivals. Arsenal quartet Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Ebere Eze and Noni Madueke have all linked up with the squad after ending the season as Premier League champions. Tuchel paid particular praise to Rice, who's been named England vice-captain for the tournament.
Harry is our captain, there's no doubt about it, and Declan is our second captain. When Harry was not in camp and didn't play against Wales, we had the choice, and it was a very quick one and a very obvious one for me to give it to Declan. He is on highest football IQ. He takes care about formation. He takes care about our structure. He takes care about the adaptation, about the rhythm in our game. I think he had outstanding 2 seasons in his personal career. The last 2 years with Arsenal was one of the main players for me in Europe in the Champions League campaigns. One of the very best midfielders in Europe at the very moment, full of confidence, and that's why he's my vice captain.
A comfortable 3-0 win over Ukraine was not enough for England women to automatically qualify for next year's World Cup. That's because Spain beat Iceland 6-1 to secure top spot in the group. It means that England will face a 2-round playoff to ensure that they can secure a spot at the 2027 Brazil World Cup. Well, it was nevertheless a dominant England display. 15 minutes in, a dangerous Lauren James cross was guarded home by Jess Carter. The home side's advantage was doubled before half-time. Kira Walsh played a brilliant through ball to Alessia Russo, who squared it to Georgia Stanway to tap home. Beth Mead delivered the Lionesses' 3rd goal with a precise free kick that found the bottom corner. It was her 40th goal for England, taking her joint 5th on the all-time scorers list. Well, champions Spain then have qualified for next year's finals at the expense of England. They thrashed Iceland to finish top of Group 3 in League A, with Aitana Bonmatí scoring her 1st goal since she returned from injury. Republic of Ireland will also have to come through the playoffs if they are to secure World Cup qualification. They were beaten 1-0 by France, who won the group. Meanwhile, Caroline Weir scored her 2nd hat-trick in 2 games as she netted 4 goals, in fact, to help Scotland to a 5-1 win over Israel. They finished top of their qualification group and secured a higher seeding for the playoffs, as well as promotion to League A of the next Nations League. And Wales also secured top spot of their qualification group by coming from behind to beat Czech Republic 3-1. The win sees them go ahead of their opponents in the group table and clinch a higher seeding for the playoffs later this year.
So that was Thomas Tuchel then. Let's get some reaction to his news conference. Our chief correspondent, Kaveh Solokol, is in New Jersey and joins us now. Kaveh, very good to see you. Right, I've got to be honest with you, Kaveh. I've never understood why people run away from a favourites tag. Is this not getting your excuses in early? Is it not a loser's mentality?
Or, I mean, that's one way of looking at it. I think Thomas Tuchel is just being realistic. I think this is all about common sense. I think if he came out this evening and said we are going to win the World Cup, we're the favourites, people would be questioning his sanity. Because you have to remember, it is going to be very, very difficult for England to win the World Cup here in the USA. And if they finish top of the group, they're probably going to have to end up going to Mexico City to play Mexico at altitude in the Azteca Stadium in front of tens and thousands of Mexican fans. If they're going to win the World Cup, they're going to have to win there. They're probably going to have to beat sides like Argentina, France, Spain as well. And I happen to think in these conditions, when it's so hot on these pitches, in this environment, I think overall it is going to favour the South American teams. And I think most people would say the favourites for this tournament, probably a side like Argentina, maybe even Brazil if they come good. And you can never discount the likes of Spain and France as well. So I get what you're saying. You could look at what Tuchel has said this evening and say he's getting his excuses in early doors. He's already thrown the towel in. But I just think he's been realistic. And I think England should be aiming to get to the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and then who knows what can happen. But I think you have to be realistic. You can't come out this evening and say the World Cup is about to start. We're going there to win it. We're going to show everyone how good English football is. I personally think that would have been the wrong approach to take, because he would have been setting himself up for a fall.
Again, you've proved you are simply nicer than me. All right, this tournament already full of controversy. Ball hasn't even been kicked yet, and there's controversy everywhere. Iran involved again. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, I'll have to take my time just to explain this, because it's quite a complicated story. But what's happened is that the Islamic Republic of Iran's Football Federation have come out and said that they are outraged because they're claiming that their ticket allocation for their World Cup games has been pulled by FIFA. Now, the background to this is that every football federation taking part in this World Cup, 48 of them, have been given a ticket allocation by FIFA for their group games. The allocation is about 8% of the total capacity of each stadium. Now, the complication that's arisen is that here in the US, there are economic sanctions in place administered by the Department of Treasury. They're in place against Iran and Iranian companies, which means that if you are somebody here or a company here, you cannot do business with the Iranian government or Iranian financial institutions. So, of course, that makes it very, very difficult for the organisers of this tournament to have any kind of financial dealings with the Islamic Republic of Iran's Football Federation. So that is the background to this story. Now, what does this mean for Iranian football fans? Are we going to have a situation where when Iran play, half the stadium is going to be empty? Well, not at all. I think Iran are going to be one of the best supported teams in this tournament. And the reason I say that is because there are around 1 million